Captain on the bridge.
All right, Captain's back on the bridge here tonight, and for this build, we are going to be using this funky looking ship that looks like, to me, a sai. To those who don't know what a sai is, it's like a handheld weapon of a ninja. Here's the handle, here's the two little... It's Raphael's weapon. Those who knows Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, will know what sais are. Except it's a very colorful one. Anyways, this is what we're using tonight. It is the Vorgon Ytijara Dreadnought Cruiser, which was another summer event ship from years ago. Now, I've already used this ship, but we didn't make a video on it, and it was a 40k redeem, channel point redeem here on Twitch, and it was redeemed as a mine layer, and that's what we're doing again today, because it actually performed really well enough that two of these with two sai boats and another captain with us, I believe, finished Korfez with the BENTHAN stage. So this performed really well, and since then there has been some build changes, so we're going to implement them and then use it again, not only for our event ship theme stream coming up this weekend, but also for our fuse tonight here on the Twitch bridge. But as you can see, I call it the Mines for You and You because it has 5 mines in the back. It's quite a very unique layout on this ship. Like I said, the main damage dealer will be these mines. It doesn't seem like it does a bunch of damage when you see the tactical seating, but trust me, Caps, this performed well, at least well enough for me. So what we'll do is we'll go over the builds, weapons, space set, consoles, traits, stations, and doffs, and then take it into Elite Argala to see how it does. Like I said, I made changes since the last time I used this, but here we go. So in the 4 weapons, we are using 3 of the Fatal 4 torpedoes, which is one of them is the Enhanced Biomolecular Photon Torpedo, which comes from your Undine rep. The Delphic Distortion Torpedo comes from the Lobi store. And the Dark Matter Quantum Torpedo Launcher, which comes from your Discovery rep. Space set, we all know and love. The Elite Fleet Intervention Protomatter Deflector comes from your Fleet Colony. Your Prevailing Innovative Impulse Engines, this comes from your Competition rep. The Mycela Harmonic Matter Antimatter Core and the Tilly's Review Pending Modified Shield comes from your Discovery rep. And here's the main damage dealer of this build. In the aft weapons, we have the Elite Fleet Junior Tricobalt Mine Launcher, comes your Fleet Colony. The Modulating Competition Mine Launcher, this comes from your Competition rep. Boron Infused Quantum Mine Launcher, this comes from your Delta Dilithium rep store. Tetron Mine Launcher, this is a reward from one of the featured episodes. And the Black Ops Mine Launcher, which was an event reward, but now you can actually get this in the Mud store. So I think this is the only ship in-game that you can have 5 mines all in the aft, if I'm not mistaken. I'll correct myself if I am corrected. Devices, we have the Kobayashi Maru for all this buff goodness. Temporal Negotiator to help us with our cooldowns when needed. Our Torp Candy. Why is this a targeting lock? No. We have to change that. We'll change that right now. Because that's not what we want. We want the other Torp Candy. Let's take this here. We'll just do this quickly now on the fly. There you go. We want this Torp Candy. We'll make one more. I didn't even know there was accuracy batteries for torps. But there you go. That means I'll have to change that on my tray here. Let's do that now, quickly, so that we don't forget. There we go. Okay, we'll continue on. We have the subspace field modulator for some damage resistance rating, and I'll explain why, along with the stations, why we're going to put a little bit of emphasis on some healing on this. Our consoles here, we have the Bioneural Infusion Circuits. This is from your low-buy store. Now here is a console also from your low-buy store that I haven't used in a long while. So this, let me just put this down here. This is the Rule 62 Multi-Purpose Combat Console. I'm using it for the 19.7% mine and torpedo damage. I got this a long time ago. It's something I don't normally use, but I thought, why not? Let's try to get some more mine damage in this, so that's why I'm using it tonight, or on this particular build. We have the ferrofluid hydraulic assembly. Comes from your Terran rep. Again, for its minus 0.5 second shared torpedo recharge time. It's going to help us with our 3 there. It actually does give us plus 13% maximum hit points, which feeds into Tyler's duality. So that gives us a little bit of extra crit. Ordnance accelerator from your gamma rep for the minus 1.5 second shared mine recharge time, with the plus 26.3 projectile weapon damage. And I believe that 26.3 phaser directed energy damage is going to help us with our next console, which is the Emulating Phaser Lance, which comes from your Deimos Pilot Destroyer, which is an R&D ship for the phaser damage, but also the shield pen, but also to proc one of our universal designs trait. We're back to one of my favorite consoles, the opening salvo from your Tier 6 Titan. Love this console. The DPRM and or the Dynamic Power Distributor Module. This comes from your Atlas, it's a lockbox ship for its damage resistance rating, but also the oh crap button, because it gives us some good, for 20 seconds, it gives us plus 40% bonus damage, but also plus 100 bonus damage resistance rating and 500% hull regen. We're pairing it up again with the Point Defense Bombardment Warhead, which comes from your NX ship, either the Legendary or the regular low-buy one, for the projectile damage and 1% critical chance. The 2-piece does give us more directed energy damage, but it's more for the plus 25% projectile. Now, to help our minds here, this is my thinking here, since we only have 3 in the 4 weapons here, I wanted to put in more torp power, so I'm using the Quantum Warhead module, which comes from the Tier 6 Defiant, for its plus 11.7 torpedo damage. And this actually does hit really hard. I think I almost got a million hit here while, like, when this was a new console on a gate. Someone parsed it and they said, yeah, I almost did a million hit with this. With all 6 charges. It also has 6 charges on this. The Tricobalt Tear Launcher, which comes from your Tier 6 Steam Runner, for its plus 90% mine and torpedo damage, and the shield pen it gives as well. The Lorcator for the critical chance. This comes from your Discovery rep, and we're just going to use the hangar pets that come with it, which is the Vorgon Ytijara frigate. I almost said enchilada, but sure. So this gives us actually a crit chance of 38.4 and crit severity of 176.3. Now, captains, keep in mind, my Pendevers are all maxed out. So in space, I have all the resistances, all the boosts to my damage helping me out here. So traits, we have a good day to die, anchored. So this anchored when I'm while stationary will give me plus damage, but minus my resistance rating. That's why I'm thinking more of, I gave this more of a heal with 2 of the buff stations. But per stack, it gives you plus 5% all damage bonus, which is Cat 2. Self-modulating fire. And of course, hot pursuit. This is going to help our mines chase down the targets. Resonating payload modification. Superior projectile training. Unconventional systems. Air and targeting systems. Intelligent agent attaché. The Boimler effect. Shout out to Lower Decks. I love that Star Trek show. Love it, love it, love it. In our Starship traits, Ceaseless Momentum, Universal Designs, Piercing Projectiles, Rapid Emitting Armament. So I have to be careful as well that I don't myself. Because when I use a tractor beam, this is going to give us additional hyperplasma torpedoes, which hit really hard. Of course, the spatial warheads. And our space reps, we have the precision, advanced targeting, omega kinetic shearing, torpedo pre-fire sequence, Hal's duality. Of our active space rep, we have same anti-time entanglement singularity, biomolecular shield generator, force challenge, the tethered non-baryonic asteroid, and refracting Chetrion cascade. Our stations here, left to right, top to bottom, we have emergency powered engines. Going to help us because it is a cruiser, and if I remember correctly, this doesn't move as nimble as the previous ship we did, which was the Rizian luxury cruiser. Heisenberg amplifier, and we get to use recursive shearing and or aka the stop hitting yourself power. So here is what I mean, how we have very, very low tactical stations. So torpedo high yield, chemosite, and dispersal pattern beta, which is our, again, this is going to be our main damage dealer right there. These two. Usually on torpo, those are your main damage dealers anyway. So in our stations here, this is why I have engineering team and actually aux to SIF for the heals. And I'm going to actually be spamming those. Hopefully that'll help me out, but that'll help also with the Boimler effect to reduce my bridge officer abilities there. Structural integrity collapse for the debuff, eject warp plasma, tractor beam, scramble sensors, and photonic shockwave. So with this build, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 uncon procs. For the doofs, nothing really changed here. We have our Neil Falconer in the ground slot to help us with increased damage versus the Borg. Elder Malikatan for increased damage versus all. And then in our space here, the emergency con officer recharges evasive maneuvers when we hit emergency powered engines. 3 projectile officers. 2 of them will give us a chance of stacking crit severity when we fire projectiles. 1 of them will give us a chance to reduce the time to recharge mines. Delreen here for the increased damage versus Borg. And 3847, reduce other bridge officer ability cooldowns after using one. So there it is. Again, it is a very odd looking ship, but it did perform well, and since this is an event ship, why not take it out and use it again? Before we head out into the Elite Argala, shout out to my fellow captains here. We have Anthony Taylor in his luxury Rizian cruiser. Kuyakama, I'm not going to say his name, and Johnny. And yes, we are going to charge right into this Argala. So, we'll see how it does. Again, remember, Picard and Riker are on the bridge. They're going to be with us. They're always with us.
Ensign, take us out of here. Maximum warp.
Aye, sir.
Engage.
Let's see. I feel like it's going to do a little slower just because of how the mines are going to hit, but that's okay. Here we go.
Tactical alert. Vessel approaching. Bearing 184, Mark 7.
All hands, battle stations.
Weapons hot, deflectors to full.
Jeez, did that ever take that cruiser out quickly? Okay, we're gonna stay still. All those mines are gonna hit that hopefully, and then bye-bye. Just like that. Okay, we're gonna save our big buffs for the next group here. Gonna set 15 seconds on our relocate mines, but I think it's hitting pretty good. But let's try buffing up a little bit here too as well. Get our mines out.
You have entered. You're not. Looks like our fight got them to notice us. Let's go over and ask if their boss might come out of hiding.
Plasma torpedo, that's going somewhere.
Keep concentrating fire on
That.
individual ships. Separate them and whittle down their numbers.
Do I have to have heals here because I'm staying still? There's those heavy plasma torpedoes. Woo! That's hitting pretty hard. Geez, that thing is taking it down pretty quick. Heavy plasma torpedoes incoming. With mines. Bye.
Stand down and surrender to the Benthan Guard. Sensors are picking up small habitations from some of the asteroids.
Be
Possibly
careful.
consistent with Volvo's temporary hideout.
An opening salvo here. Straight to hull damage. Bye.
We do what we want, where we want.
I mean, it's doing pretty good, actually.
Picked up a tight beam transfer.
Faster than I thought it was going to do.
We're jamming that spectrum of their comms
Shows
now.
you how good the torpedo builds are nowadays. Kinetic. Ooh. One more. Plasma torpedoes hitting. Bye-bye. Okay. Well, that was a lot quicker than I thought. Here we go. Oof. That's a lot of booms.
Excellent work. We'll send over a
Jeez.
party, take the suspect into custody.
Okay. That is why it did well in a Korfez.
Welcome to this sector.
I actually did think it was gonna do one sexer. It was gonna take a lot longer than that. Okay, let's give our final thoughts here. It's Parker here, where we can take our shelfies. Captains, that is our ship selfies. Lance Parker right here. take off their hood, and enjoy the scenery. There that was. I'm kind of shocked, to be honest with you, Captain, it did that well. It felt like that patrol was really quick, and it was in Elite, so, you know, over time, with messing with different builds, you kind of get a sense of how your ship's going to do in terms of performance. I knew it was going to perform well, but it didn't think it was going to perform that good. But again, just it goes to show you that how well torpedo builds are doing now in the meta. So there it is. As ugly as it is, it performed really well as a mine layer. So the mines for you and you did really good. It's going to be one of the ships that I definitely will be using in our upcoming event ship theme stream that's coming this weekend as of this video comes out. Captains, I invite you on the Twitch bridge here for our PP shenanigans. It's going to go from Friday to Sunday, and then we'll be actually doing a video off stream to announce the giveaways that we're going to be doing with our events ship theme stream, which one of the prizes is actually provided from Ambassador Kale himself / Cryptic. So I'm excited for that. It's great that Cryptic and Ambassador Kale is helping us out here to boost the morality of the community with the giveaway here. So again, captains, if you have the ship, I recommend messing with it, putting some mines on it, and see how it does for you. But it did pretty good. We're going to be testing it out here tonight. Again, we invite you always here on the Twitch bridge. And please, captains, consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing to our YouTube channel so that we can reach out to more captains and we can all come here onto the bridge and have fun. So with that said, we'll leave it on this, on some good advice from a very well-known captain.
Don't let them promote you. Don't let them transfer you. Don't let them do anything that takes you off the bridge of that ship, because while you're there, you can make a difference.